Yo, it's Swiggy. I don't know how JJK does it every single week, but dropping this many bangers in a row is insane. Now, this episode wasn't as good as the last 3 episodes, but this is the equivalent of me saying the last few episodes were a 10 and this was a 9.5. Now, there's a lot that happened in this episode today, and we're gonna talk about all of it because a lot of it is setting up for next season, and I don't want y'all to miss some of the stuff that's actually important, so let's hop right in. One of the best parts about this season are the visuals that are used to show you what's happened each episode, and keep in mind that the entire Shibuya incident is over the course of just 3 hours in their time. The episode starts with Panda looking for Kusakabe, and when he finds him, Kusakabe is basically turned on Yuji, stating that he is now for Yuji's execution, even though it was Sukuna who caused all of the destruction. But he also says something that is important for what's to come. With Gojo gone, the higher-ups are sure to sentence Yuji. It was alluded to earlier in the season after he was sealed, but with only a short amount of time passing, the fights that we've seen in this season are only a warm-up for what's to come now that Gojo is out of the picture for the time being. And not only just the fights, but the way that some of these people are going to start acting is going to change now that Gojo isn't around to regulate things anymore. A lot of people probably wonder why Kusakabe switched up like that on Yuji, but you have to remember, for a few seconds, Kusakabe was staring down death because Sukuna was standing right beside him, threatening to kill him if he moved. The sheer aura of Sukuna's evil was something that we all felt, especially when he first awakened in Shibuya. Power that rivals that of Satoru Gojo himself, but evil. And after being so scared to move because of the threat of his power, even with the meteor coming at him, wanting that evil gone is not irrational, even if it means sacrificing Yuji. And even though Panda is still against it, him asking Yuji if it was him when he first comes to help him was a sign of the fear that Panda had from encountering Sukuna. But I mean, Sukuna did say any human, so why didn't he just run? Then we cut to, y'all knew what y'all were doing. But outside of the fan service, there's another aspect to this scene that a lot of you probably missed. So Mei Mei talks about how she's moved all of her money out of Japan, and whoever she's on the phone with, she advises them to do the exact same thing. And a lot of you may think this just has to do with the aftermath of Shibuya, but to exchange all of your currency away alludes to something a lot bigger on the horizon. Honestly, I don't spoil stuff for my anime onlys because yeah, I read the manga, but everything that happened this season is just the icing on the cake for what's to come in season 3. And it will encompass way more than just one city in this next go around. And these opening scenes are amazing foreshadowing, and let's not forget, we finally see what happened to Choso, who is now calling Yuji his brother, which finally starts to give us more background about Choso and the sorcerer that's inhabiting Geto's body. Now, before we start calling Todo, Yuji, and Choso related, the reason that Choso calls Yuji brother is way different from why Todo calls Yuji brother. Choso has a blood link with his brothers, which is how he knew that Yuji and Nobara took out his little brothers. But after his fight with Yuji, he realizes that he also has a link with Yuji when Yuji is almost dead. I'm not gonna say too much to spoil it, but the revelation about the brain monster inhabiting past bodies and being one of Choso's parents is gonna come back up later. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Just keep it fresh on your minds because they're not gonna outright say it, but you'll know it when you see it. And now we get to the meat and potatoes of the episode and cut back to where we left off last episode with Geto about to save Mahito. This is where we start to see just how much control this thing has over Geto's body, being able to use curse manipulation with the same proficiency as Geto and leaving Yuji on the ground unable to do anything against the power of the curse manipulation technique. And this is also when we get hit with the blue balls, because Mahito tries to sneak pseudo Geto, and instead of Mahito being destroyed by Yuji like we all wanted, he gets absorbed by Geto and is used in his maximum curse technique, Uzumaki, which also means that now Geto can use idle transfiguration, because when he uses Uzumaki, any semi-grade 1 or higher curse spirit that's used in Uzumaki, he gets their curse technique without needing to summon that spirit. We just don't get to see it this season because, well, some other stuff is going to happen between now and next episode, and someone is going to say that it's a spoiler because they only watched JJK for the fights, but Geto outright said this in the episode. I mean, he didn't say he had idle transfiguration, but he did say that he gets the curse technique. Now, right after this, Choso is all about that action because he shoots piercing blood at Arame and starts going right at Pseudo Geto, even though Pseudo Geto beats the shit out of him. And in the midst of all this, everybody tries to jump Pseudo Geto, because what would a fight in Jujutsu Kaisen be if people didn't try to jump somebody? But this is where you get to see that Arame is one of them, which I don't know how y'all didn't know, because this is the only person Sukuna was happy to see. the king of curses, who only likes to fight and cause destruction, smiled like that was his best friend. Obviously, they're evil twins, and she showed it because she froze everyone in their tracks. They couldn't do anything. There was a point at the end where Yuji thought he was gonna die, but then the special grade sorcerer Yuki shows up, and that's where the episodes end. And I really can't wait to see Yuki finally fight, because we've seen her get alluded to earlier in this season and in season 1, but we never actually seen her curse technique. So now we actually get to see it. And don't forget, she is a special grade, so I doubt that this is gonna disappoint. Well, might not disappoint too bad. And I just wanna say, y'all Kyoto students were fucking useless. Miwa, baby, sorry about your sword. You should have stayed home though. Alright, so if you like the video, the only thing I ask for is that you guys just leave a like. It lets me know that y'all enjoy the content that I'm dropping. And if you're new to the channel and you wanna see more stuff, check out this video right here. Usually I say bud anyway, roll my outro, but I'm trying something new because I kind of want y'all to enjoy all the stuff I post, not just the JJK stuff I post. Like this video, that's not about JJK. Anyway, roll my outro.